biggest reduction in recent times. This should result in petrol going down by 4.5%, resulting in a litre being sold at around 14 cedis, 90 pesos. Diesel, on the other hand, should be going for 15 cedis, 20 pesos, representing a 3.8% decline from the previous quote on March 1, 2025. LPG will go down by 3.9%, resulting in a kilogram going for 17 cedis, 35 pesos. This is the third time since February 16 that we have witnessed continuous decline in price of petroleum products at the pumps. According to the oil marketing companies, the reduction has been influenced by the consistent reduction in price of crude and finished petroleum products on the international market and the city's marginal stability against the dollar over the past week.
It's positive for the consumer. It's useful. It's something that would give some respite to our pockets. Unfortunately, what is projected and what has been delivered at the pumps as we speak, there's quite a bit of, a variance. For petrol that one would have expected to come below 15 Ghana cedis. The bigger OMCs, two of them whose prices I have seen, are still doing above 15.4. That is not that, welcoming or significant. The pricing review notification I just received from one of the larger OMCs is equally not that encouraging. One would have expected that as of this time, most of the OMCs would have done good to the consumer by declining on pump prices, but that is not what we are seeing. Unfortunately, if it is the inverse, where prices are supposed to go up, then you would find a lot of the OMCs by the very first day, within the very few hours, having adjusted upwards. But oftentimes when it's supposed to be the reverse or a decline, then you would find that some would wait a day or two or even three to pass on the reduction to the consuming public. That for us is not good enough. But then again, the rate of decline for us is also not that significant from what we have recorded from the market so far.
And Duncan, what's causing that, variations?
One, you would speak to some of these OMCs and you get an indication they are still jittery about the currency, which for the past 2 months seem to have been very stable. It hovers between the 15.2, 15.9 region. The open market, you probably will get 16.2, but it hasn't been that bullish as in with the demand and supply bit. But the city would still continue to have an influence on what the OMCs, give to the market. But at the end of the day, like I have indicated, these reductions, whether we are going to be able to consolidate them, whether we are going to be able to sustain them, whether Ghanaians should go to sleep at this point, knowing that we are getting some reductions at the pumps, my response would be a big no. You would need a definitive strategy that allows you to stock up fuel at this time when international market prices look quite favorable. At this time when your currency looks a bit stable, you would need a more coherent strategy to be able to keep these prices that we are seeing 15, around 14 for the Ghanaian. For some, it still would sound like a bit too high, but it is a bit okay when you have prices not going up, but even stable. People can actually plan for their businesses or plan for their expenditure. But as it stands, I haven't come across as yet a coherent government strategy that says that we are stocking up or we are buying products due to international market falls. And so over the next 3-5 months, whatever international market prices become, whether they are global or geopolitical tensions, Ghanaians will be able to get fuel prices between 14 and 15. If we can get that kind of communication from the Energy Ministry or from the government, then we'll be doing something. But as I stand with you today, these reductions are simply a trade function where international market prices have declined. And so as a net effect, you'll be getting these reductions at the pumps. If you wake up tomorrow
Duncan, it even feeds into my next question, Duncan. Some have also argued that looking at the current developments on the international market, for example, like you mentioned, we should see prices go down by more than 4%. At least that's what we are learning.
Totally correct, if you ask me. One would have expected that for price per metric to have done about $30. You should be seeing a minimum $30 decline, a metric for either product. You should be seeing between 3 and 5% decline on pump prices. But like I indicated, some of the larger OMCs, as I speak with you, have done just about 1.62%. Not adequate for anything. But of course, for the Ghanaian ones, it's gone down. They would say that, of course, you've done something. But clearly, are we doing what we should do, and are we doing well enough? The answer will be a big no. Maybe the government should also pay a closer attention to the current situation and find an innovative way to mitigate whatever the currency impact is on our pump prices. Once that is done, I'm sure we can force the OMCs to sell at a certain, threshold. But as it stands, above 15 as of this point, I think that is still quite high and something ought to give.
All right, Duncan. I wanted to find out what really ought to give, but for the sake of time, we'll definitely continue the conversation subsequently. Pleasure you could join me, Duncan Amoah, Executive Secretary of COPEC. This is still Business Live. We have more for you.